this video, I will show you how to use your clay to make a pinch pot snowman. For getting started, what you will do is you will get one large ball of clay and you will need to separate it into 3 balls of clay, one big, one medium, and one small. So you can start separating out the clay by pinching it and then just looking at the different sizes to make sure you have one of each. So I will roll this into a ball by moving my hands in a circular motion or pressing it to make it into a circle or a sphere. There's my small, here's my medium. Get it into a nice sphere. And then here's my large. If you see that there is one that's not quite different enough, then you can readjust it and pinch clay off and add it to other pieces. I might take a little bit off the smallest ball. Once you have the 3 balls of clay, then you are ready to make 3 pinch pots. I have my clay mat down on the table because the clay will not stick to the clay mat, but the clay does stick to the table. So if I press the clay on, it's a little bit harder to peel off. But if I press it on the clay mat, I can easily peel it off. So always work with clay on your clay mat. And then be really careful about the dust. We don't want to clap our hands if they're full of dry clay or wave the mats around because the dust is not that safe to breathe. For the pinch pots, you can get started with your biggest ball of clay. And what I do is I hold the ball, make sure it's round, hold it in the palm of your hand and stick your thumb in. You could even put it on the clay mat itself, stick your thumb in it, and then just start pinching. I like to turn my clay as I pinch, and I'm not bending it outward. If you bend it outward, it's gonna crack. So I just hold it. You can also hold it in your hand like this and just work around and pinch the clay. You don't want to make it too thin because then it will break very easily. So you want to keep the walls probably the thickness of your pointer finger, the walls of the pinch pot. If it gets too wide at the top, you can just carefully rip the clay and then overlap it and then pinch it so it's in more. So here's my first pinch pot, my first ball of clay. And we'll work on smoothing it out a little bit later, but there's my first pinch pot. When I set it down, I can tap it gently and I have my first pinch pot. So that's the bottom of your snowman. The next one, you'll do the same thing. And here's my last one. This one's a little bit tricky because it is so tiny. Just move your thumb little by little in there. Once I get all 3 pinch pots made, and don't be afraid if you make a mistake, you can always roll it back up and restart too. It takes practice. Once you finish making your pinch pots, then you will need to stack them up so they look like a snowman. You'll be building your own snowman. However, we don't want our snowman just to fall apart, so we need to do something to stick the clay together. And that is called scoring and slipping. What I'm going to do is set my first ball of clay down, upside down, and then I'm going to make little marks in my clay with the wooden stick. And then I'm going to dip my finger in a little bit of water and just drip it on. I'll make some marks as well on the top of my snowman ball. And then what you can do is gently press it down. You don't want to squish it. I'm more rubbing from the side. And that will stick it on. Just carefully blend it together. And you can use the wooden stick as well to press in the middle of the clay to smudge it together. If you gently wiggle the top of your snowman, it should stay on. If you yank it off, it will come off. That's the first one. I will do the same thing on the last section. Get my water, just drop a few drops on there, stick it on. I'm not going to press down because that will smush the snowman. I'm going to press gently and then blend and just push the stick down. For the very last step, you will take a piece of paper, write your name on it, and you will put your name face down and put your snowman on top. Happy snowman building!